Hello, Bushnell students. Welcome to week 4. Hope your weekend is going well. This week, we have a number of learning objectives from chapter 8 and 9 that we're going to be working on. First up from chapter 8, understanding what sales and operations involves, like the combination of those two working together, and also understanding how aggregate planning and forecasting meet the demand from the customer. Also, looking at from chapter 8, describing how yield management helps in leveling the demand. You don't want your demand to go high, low with these large swings. Yield management will help kind of like smooth that over a little bit. Out of chapter 9, we're looking at the MRP strategies and how to use them, and also understanding what it means to have an MRP explosion. Okay, it's not what you think probably. Slide 4. Let's take a look at that. From chapter 8, sales and operations planning translates corporate strategic and capacity plans into quantifiable levels for workforce size, inventory levels, labor levels, production levels, that sort of thing. So changes in demand happen all the time, so the planning system must be robust enough to handle typical variations. And robustness in the planning system is improved by developing multiple supply sources, cross-training workers, constantly reviewing and modifying aggregate plans for the delivery of the services. One of the great definitions of robustness that I learned a long time ago, now this is from the automotive industry, but I think it applies everywhere. It's a consistent performance in the presence of noise. So if your system is robust, it's going to consistently perform to the parameters even when there's noise or interruptions being shot at it, okay? Consistent performance in the presence of noise. That's the definition of robustness. All right, next, be sure you take a look at the section on yield management. Now, yield management factors helps explain the rationale behind many price discount strategies for hotels, airlines, rentals, and again, it helps like smooth the demand over a little bit. You know, if you ever gotten those cheap flights from Orbitz or Priceline, that sort of thing, that is as a result of some of these yield management factors that I have shown here on this slide. All right, from chapter 9, we are going to be discussing the history and strategy of MRP, which is the Material Requirements Planning System, MRP system. There's a good diagram to study in Exhibit 9.5, which depicts a macro view, like a 20,000 foot view, of how MRP interfaces with the major subsystems in any organization. Now, the major subsystems feeding the MRP system, at least in a production facility, would be like the master schedule, the bill of materials for each of those scheduled parts, you know, and the current inventory of each scheduled part as well. When those three components are integrated through the MRP system, the organization is able to generate releases for each part so the inventory doesn't shoot too high or get too low as well. Okay, that's it for now. Remember, I've got office hours each week, and be sure to watch this week's devotional and catch all of the required and attend tabs. Make sure you keep up on your assignments. We're heading into the halfway point for this course, so no coasting and no sliding along yet. All right, listen, remember, God is on his throne. He's always been there, and he's always going to be.